Kokichi Muta. On the surface, he's just like any other student at Jujutsu High. He's got many peers and friends he hangs out with, aspirations and determination to become a sorcerer, and even someone he wants to love and be with sometime in the future. But behind the scenes, he has a body so frail he can't walk, skin so weak he can't be in sunlight, missing limbs and body parts. All of this from his heavenly pact he's been cursed with since birth, and that makes sure every single moment of his existence is coated with excruciating pain. Pain that will never go away. But despite these conditions he has to go through day in and day out, he still spends his time as a sorcerer, saving as many people as he can. Until one day, when an opportunity arises where he's able to make a pact with the enemy, where he grants them some information while simultaneously not causing any fatalities. Now he's finally free of these shackles he's been held down on his whole life. He can go outside, feel the sun on his skin. He can finally meet up with his mentors and friends. He can finally meet his love. He's killed immediately after, and will always be remembered as a traitor by those who he loves most. This is just one of the many tragic deaths in Jujutsu Kaisen. And after watching the series, I was surprised to see that it's actually quite a contentious topic within the fandom. And unlike a lot of these people, I believe that this variety of how deaths are handled differently within each character is one of the greatest aspects of the series. Let's look at Nanami for example. He was always a key teacher and mentor for many of the sorcerers of the new generation, especially Yuji. And after having a beautiful sequence of him reminiscing about how he wants to retire and live an easy life in Malaysia,
あとは頼みます。
he's killed. And although this is a much more standard and predictable death, it is still able to be just as emotional and important for the story. And by having deaths be able to occur at any stage of a character's development, it makes every single fight that much more intense, as you always have to be worried if your favorite characters are going to make it out alive or not. Now, let's compare this to another shonen series, like One Punch Man. Now, don't get me wrong, I love One Punch Man, and it excels at a lot of things. But handling deaths just is not one of them. The main reason for this being that they pretty much never kill off anyone. Even sideline characters that show up like twice throughout the entire series will still have way too much plot armor than they should, which makes the already low stakes of having a main character who is practically unkillable even lower, as the characters you introduce to bring stakes into the series either never die, or the writers literally turn back time from preventing any of these characters from dying. And after a while, it loses all of the stakes a great series like One Punch Man should have, because you know that none of the characters are gonna die, so what's the point of the fight in the first place? Of course, not every series suffers as hard from plot armor, but often deaths can become so predictable that having these expectations be completely shattered and having these unfinished characters with so much potential die not only raises the tension of every fight, but can also often lead to some of the greatest and most tragic deaths of all.
Yuzuki.